guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides, and I am actually in San Diego, California with my wonderful wife. We decided to stop at the San Diego Car Museum, and I have a very special car behind me that actually means a lot to me because this is really when I was a kid where the juices were really flowing and the passion was going for cars, and what has led me to continue that passion and share it with you guys. What I have behind me is a 1974. Yes, you heard that correct. I know you're probably looking at that and you're saying, that's a 74? It's a 1974 Lamborghini Countach. Now, if you don't know much about the Countach was like the car that if you were a kid in the 1980s, you had a poster of this car on your wall. If you had your Hot Wheels and your Matchbox cars laid out, there always was your prized possession, a Lamborghini Countach. And now I have the pleasure of standing in front of this one. Now, this one being a 74 is a little bit older than obviously the one that I had on my wall. The one that I had on my wall was a 1986 Lamborghini Countach. But this one is still that basis and where it all really started. And to be honest with you, the Countach just got better and better and better as time went by. So let's go ahead and start at the front of it. Now, you look at the front of this car, you might say, wow, look at those headlights. These aren't actually the headlights. These are actually fog lamps. And underneath here, these are going to pop up. Those are actually pop-up headlights. So I really, really like that styling from the 1980s. And the 90s, that pop-up headlight, it really gives the car such an aerodynamic look, such a clean look as well from the front. One thing I'm not really in love with this particular Lamborghini is I don't like the black with the red. As the years went by, all the black that you see eventually became red on the car, but obviously the styling is just so mind-blowing when you compare this, and go ahead, Google. If you're not familiar with cars in the 1970s, Google it and see what other cars are available for this time period. Check out the hood emblem there. Now, remember, this is a mid-engine car, so the engine is not going to be underneath this portion of the car. It's going to be out back in front of that rear axle. But that is the Lamborghini Bull. Remember, Mr. Lamborghini started his company making tractors. He was a big customer of Enzo Ferrari, and he wanted Enzo to make some changes with his cars. And guess what? Enzo told him, don't buy my car then. So he went out and built his own, and that's what eventually spawned into the Lamborghini Countach. Check out the styling. I really like on the doors how the windows actually go in rather than are straight up and down. Another thing you might not be aware of is only this bottom window is going to be the part that goes up and down. The rest of the glass stays in place. And that's all for that aerodynamic efficiency. And remember, the technology that they had during this time, even with manufacturing, wasn't where it needed to be compared to today's standards, so that's what they had to deal with. I do really like, if you look low down here, I love this side vent that's going to force feed air along with the vent on top into that V12 engine. So we're talking about naturally aspirated V12 carbureted. So no fuel injected, none of that back in 1974. Another thing that's historic about this car are the Lamborghini doors. So if I was to open up this door, they're a scissor style door. They're going to go straight up. That's what you see on a lot of later Lamborghinis, like the Aventador, the Diablo, the Murcielago. So it really got started here with the Lamborghini Countach. Another thing I love about the Countach is I love the flared fenders. That allows them to run a little wider wheel and tire package. Like I said, in the 1980s Countaches, those would be eventually painted the same body color as the rest of the car. And then I really like that rear engine cover, how it's louvered and vented. Really just has that perfect balance of style and the performance and the design of Italy. And then finally that big, huge Lamborghini Countach rear wing. Now you can get this car without the rear wing. It was actually a very famous race car driver by the name of Walter Rohr who asked Lamborghini to put the wing on the back, and then eventually customers could ask for that wing to be put on there as an option. But at the end of the day, you have a car that back in 1974 did 186 miles an hour. That was unheard of for that time period because remember, throughout the 1970s, performance went down. I mean, by 1974, a Corvette 450 with a 454 engine in it was putting out maybe 260 horsepower, 280 horsepower. So you could see that this thing has over 370 horsepower, top speed 186 miles an hour. You could see why not only myself, but lots of other kids back then had this car on their wall and lusted after it. But anyways, if these are the types of cars that you like to see on Raiti's Rides, leave a comment in that comment section. If you have not hit that subscribe button yet, I'm looking around the museum. What are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button. If there's anything in particular you want to see on Raity's Rides, leave a comment in that comment section. Check out my Twitter, my Instagram, and my Facebook pages. All original content all the time, and I will see you on the next ride.